Hi, everyone. It's my great honor to be here with you. Today, I'm going to talk about a special group of Huìyì characters in Oracle bomb inscriptions. In ancient Chinese script, Huìyì characters are composed of two and more semantic elements. Thus, we also call them semantic-semantic compounds. The embedded position of these special access compounds provides supplementary visual scenarios to readers. In this way, we call them scene characters. I will explain more later. First, I want to talk about sign functions in complex scripts in general. Then I will introduce the 6 traditional typologies of Chinese characters. Among them, the type of access characters is our main topic today. I will also introduce Oracle bomb inscriptions in general, as we will discuss a special group of access characters inscribed on Oracle bomb inscriptions. Finally, I will show you 2 typical examples of scene characters, treasure and pen-raised animals. Before I dive into the special group of SS compounds, I want to give you some typology background for complex writing systems. Signs in complex writing systems, such as Egyptian, cuneiform, Chinese, and Mayan scripts, may have 3 basic functions: logograms, phonograms, and semantic classifiers. Sign functions as logograms have both sound and semantic values. Signs functioning as phonograms only have sound values, while semantic classifiers only have semantic values. They are seen but not heard. Let's look at examples in the table. The sign in Egyptian scripts depicts a house or structure from a downward view. It functions as a logogram, carrying the sound value peh and the meaning house. Likewise, in Chinese scripts, the pictorial meaning of the sign is a tree. It functions as a logogram, having both the sound mu and the meaning tree. In the Egyptian word go out, the sign for house functions as a phonogram, carrying only sound value. The silent semantic classifier walking legs was marked as yellow, carrying the semantic meaning movement. Similarly, in the Chinese word watch here, the sign for a tree functions as a phonogram mu, while the semantic classifier in the left position carries the semantic meaning water. In addition, in the Egyptian word chest, lest, the sign for house functions as a silent semantic classifier, carrying the meaning house. And the sign for a tree in the Chinese word pillar is a semantic classifier, indicating pillar is made of wood. The earliest known classification framework for Chinese characters was Liu Xu, which is 6 principles of writing. Liu Xu was recorded in the dictionary 说文解字, written by Xu Shen. This dictionary systematically collected over 9,400 small sales characters from the Qin dynasty around 221 BCE. This work laid theoretical foundation for the analysis of ancient Chinese scripts. The 6 principles of writing are as follows. The first one, 象形, or pictographs, is a subtype of logograms, such as the forms for a dragon, or what we call in Mandarin Chinese long. This 2 capital letter OC refers to Old Chinese reconstruction. The first form is a pictograph or logogram in Oracle bomb inscriptions. You can see it's what? Okay, I will try to, okay, that'll work. Okay. And you know what I'm talking about, right? This one, the first form is a pictograph or logogram in Oracle bomb inscription around the 14th to 11th century BCE, which depicts the image of long. You can see the picture in the right corner. It has a crown on the top of the head, a giant mouth, and a long body. Long is a mythical creature imagined by the ancient Chinese people formed by combining the shapes of various animals. In bronze inscriptions, around 11th to 6th century BCE, the characters' form began to be distorted or corrupted. During the Warring States period, around 5th to 3rd century BCE, the form of dragon showed a separation between the body and the head, and symbols indicating dragon's hair were added to the body. This form was continued in Qin bamboo manuscripts around 3rd century BCE. And even in modern traditional Chinese characters, it still retains this form. The Chinese people consider themselves descendants of the dragon. The second principle, 指示 or iconographs, is also a subtype of logograms. For example, the sign for root, cited from the small cell script in 说文解字, is depicted by adding a stroke on the bottom of the sign tree to indicate the location of the root. Likewise, a stroke is added to the top of the tree to record the word treetop. The third and the fourth principles, 会意 and 形声, are two types that were composed of two and more components. 会意 was composed of two and more semantic elements. We will discuss it and see some examples later. While 形声 characters are composed of one semantic part and one phonetic part in most cases. For example, the character writing the word deaf is an SP compound, which is semantic phonetic compound, with the semantic part, ear, located on the left side, and the phonetic part, long, on the right position. Here, the semantic part, ear, functions as a semantic classifier, indicating the hearing disability of a person. In addition, we notice a special subtype of SP compounds, which is semantic phonetic compounds. We call SPS compounds. The small s indicates that the phonetic part also contains semantic meaning simultaneously. For example, the character for the word think is an SP small s compound. It is combined with the phonetic part, xin, in the upper position, and the semantic part, heart, in the bottom position. However, the sign that functions here as a phonetic part carries the semantic meaning top of the head, which is also relevant to the top level meaning think. The fifth principle, 假借, was also called phonetic loan, or reverse characters, or loaned phonograms, which function as phonograms. For example, the sign ear could be used as a loaned phonogram to write a modal particle at the end of a sentence in preaching literature. The last one, 转注, however, is an uncertain type in the dictionary 说文解字. Now, let's focus on the type of SS compounds or 会意 characters. SS or even SSS compounds are characters composed of two and more pictorial elements, each carrying an independent semantic value. For instance, the word treasure in oracle inscriptions was composed of three semantic elements, house, shell or money, and jade, which depict prototypical treasures stored at house. We will come back to this example later. These components may function as logograms within the script. House, shell, and jade all could be used as logograms in oracle inscriptions. However, when these elements are combined into a single character, they create a new compound logogram with an altered meaning and a phonological value distinct from each individual component. Before we discuss the special type of SS compounds or scene characters, I want to provide you with some general backgrounds for the oracle inscriptions. Oracle bone inscriptions are the earliest paleographic evidence of the established ancient Chinese writing system as we know it today, dating back to around 1300 BCE. They are divinatory in content and are commonly inscribed on turtle plastrons and the scapulae of oxen. So far, around 4,000 characters have been attested in oracle bone inscriptions, and about half of them were safely deciphered. Let's look into an example of oracle bone inscription. This is a copy of the inscription number 110, both on the rectal and the versal of a broken turtle shell. It is cited from Jiaguwen Heji, normally abbreviated as H. We can see both sides as inscribed with characters, but the rectal contains more characters. I want to point out the SS characters marked in red here. The written word herring was compounded by 3 semantic elements: an ear and 2 mouths. The sign ear is larger than the mouth, which may highlight the ear's function. Given the intention to create the concept of hearing, it is presented by the writing character as a sense that one uses the ear to hear human sounds. Therefore, 2 human mouths are depicted as combining with the prominent ear. The mouth was probably duplicated to depict more than a single voice. The duplicated mouth also creates an aesthetic balance. In the following discussion, I will present a semiotic analysis of selected Huìyì characters in oracle bone inscriptions, wherein the spatial arrangement of compounded signs conveys meaning beyond the mere aggregation of individual elements. In certain SS or SSS characters, positionality functions as an additional dimension of signification, reflecting real-world sense and enhancing the expressive power of the script. Let's come back to the example treasure mentioned above. During the late Song Dynasty, both shell and jade held exceptional value, shell functioning as currency or money, which jade was regarded as the desired precious stone and a highly sought-after material for elite use. The representation of these 3 elements, whose actual dimensions varies considerably in reality, was carefully calibrated by the fundamental principles governing the composition of the script. However, in this case, we witness more than calibration. The character is also sensitive to the spatial arrangement. The sign house is always positioned above, while the other 2 signs, shell and jade, are always below and inside. The shell and jade are always put inside the house, which means the visual arrangement includes the concept of inside, creating a scene. For this character, we know that treasure means currency and precious stones put inside the house. The conscious arrangement of these various elements in the compound characters supplies additional visual information. Another pictorial sensitive scenic arrangement of semantic elements in compounded characters in oracle inscription was also found in the word penrise animals as offerings. The character was compounded by 2 semantic elements, enclosure of animals and head of ox. The ox plays the role of a prototypical quadruped. Here, the combination of 2 semantic elements, pen and ox, acquire additional scenic information, which is the ox is inside the pen. The intriguing point in this example is that the object animal inside the enclosure could be also a sheep. The competing prototypes tells us that the essence of this character's meaning is not the mere combination of ox and pen, but the more general idea of pen-raised animals. The compound character presents additional pictorial information about man's relation with these animals. He keeps them inside a man-built structure for his utilization. The ox is the winning prototype. Statistically, sheep was more popular than ox in the early stage of oracle inscriptions. However, ox gradually becomes the predominant animal in the written representation of the word pen-raised animals at the later stage of oracle inscriptions. The sign has already been standardized with an ox prototype from the Western Zhou dynasty. The ox is the winning prototype and continues into the modern Chinese character. Finally, here are the references cited in this presentation. For more details, please refer to the article published on hieroglyphs by myself and Professor Oleg Goldwasser. It was released last month. There are many more examples of same characters, but due to the time limitation, I couldn't show you more. I would be very happy to talk about more with you after this seminar. Thank you.